Okay, good evening, everybody. First of all, I'd like to start the meeting, begin by acknowledging that we're in Robinson Superior Treaty Territory, and that the land on which we gather is the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe and the Métis. With the approval of the agenda, I have 4 items to add. So under other business, number 5, we'll have the waste management bylaw. And under department reports and committee board minutes, 9, Director of Operations status update. That'll be number 9. The ESA upgrades at the water pollution control plant. It'll be number 10. And Schreiber Senior Center Committee meeting minutes will be number 11. And I have one item to delete, and that's number 6 under the acceptance of a quotation for the installation of the lights on the tree at the complex out there. Okay. Having said that, can I have approval of agenda? Any disclosures of interest? Hearing none, we have no delegations. Question period.
I have had no questions.
I have had no questions. So we'll move right on into the resolution 372-23. Moved by Councillor Bryson, seconded by Councillor McGrath, that the minutes of the council and committee of the whole meeting held November 14th, 2023 be accepted as circulated. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 373-23. Moved by Councillor Bourgeois, seconded by Councillor Morrow, that the minutes of the special council meeting held November 22nd, 2023 be accepted as circulated. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Carried. Business arising from the minutes, committee of the whole recommendations. Resolution 374 23. Moved by Councillor McGrath, seconded by Councillor Bryson, that council transfer to the fire truck reserve 10,000 as budgeted in bylaw 22-2023. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 375-23, moved by Councillor Morrow, seconded by Councillor Bergeau. The council transferred to the fire equipment reserve $1,000 as budgeted in bylaw 22-2023. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 376-23, moved by Councillor Bryson, seconded by Councillor McGrath. The council transferred to the water and sewer reserve $11,000 as budgeted in bylaw 22-2023, sewer department. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 377-23, moved by Councillor Morrow, seconded by Councillor Bergeau, that council transfer to the water and sewer reserve $25,000 as budgeted in bylaw 22-2023, water department. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 378-23, moved by Councillor McGrath, seconded by Councillor Bryson, that council transfer to the landfill reserve $10,000 as budgeted in bylaw 22-2023. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 379-23, moved by Councillor Bergeau, seconded by Councillor Morrow, that council transfer to the provincial dedicated gas tax reserve fund $28,592, which represents funding received in 2023. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 380-23, moved by Councillor Bryson, second by Councillor McGrath. The council transfer to the Recreation Committee Reserve Fund $218, which represents donations from vending machine sales in 2023. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 381 23. Moved by Councillor Morrow, seconded by Councillor Bergeau, that council transfer to the Recreation Committee Reserve Fund $233.65, which represents net apparel sales for 2023. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 382 23. Moved by Councillor McGrath, seconded by Councillor Bryson. The council transferred to the Recreation Committee Reserve Fund $965.37, which represents the 2023 Winter Carnival surplus. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 383 23. Moved by Councillor Bergeau, seconded by Councillor Morrow. The council transferred from the Recreation Committee Reserve Fund $7,819.05, which represents the 2023 Heritage Days event net loss. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 384 23. Moved by Councillor Bryson, seconded by Councillor McGrath. The council transferred from the Nuclear Waste, the NWMO Community Wellbeing Reserve Fund, $339,554 towards the unfunded portion of the Community Revitalization Project. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 385 23. Moved by Councillor Morrow, seconded by Councillor Bergeau, that council authorized the purchase of the Ontario Good Roads Association Winter Web app at a cost of $3,082 plus applicable taxes per year. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 386 23. Moved by Councillor McGrath, seconded by Councillor Bryson, that council accept the quotation from Hunter and Thorne Electric Corporation in the amount of $870 plus applicable taxes for the installation of Christmas decorations on poles in the Township of Schreiber and the installation of lights on the tree at the Schreiber Municipal Complex. Discussion?
Did I have that recorded wrong? From our last meeting, I had Hunter and Thorne a total of $983.
Next page here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're right.
that's with the tax.
That's with the tax.
Oh, with, okay. Sorry.
No, that's, so, all those in favor? Carried. So that was 386, sorry. Resolution 387 dash 23. Moved by Councilor Morrow, seconded by Councilor Bergeau, that council authorize a payment to B&T Lemieux Trucking Incorporated in the amount of $5,000 excluding applicable taxes for curbside garbage collection services. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 388 dash 23. Moved by Councilor Bryson, second by Councilor McGrath, that the Township of Schreiber accept the donation of a pumper truck from Pays Plat First Nation and that the ownership of the truck be transferred to the Township of Schreiber. Discussion?
Now that we've moved this, did you want to do some media around this?
Yeah.
Not necessary, just.
No,
popped into
I
my
mean,
head.
we have enough going on right now, but
Okay.
you're right, no, it,
No, it just
We'll see
popped
what-
into
yeah.
my head, honest to God.
yeah. All those in favor? Carried.
Maybe some kind of thank you letter?
You definitely
Or
missed that
some
guy,
sort of
thank you.
Do you want some of that? Thank you letter?
Sure. Resolution 389 dash 23. Moved by Councilor Morrow, seconded by Councilor Bergeau. The council of the Township of Schreiber support Resolution 2023-08 of the Northwestern Ontario Municipal Association with respect to sustainable funding to NOSH University to address the urgent need for health human resources in Northern Ontario. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 390 dash 23. Moved by Councilor McGrath, second by Councilor Bryson, that the North Shore Harvest Cover be approved for a grant and aid in the amount of $1,000 for the 2023 Christmas hamper campaign. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 391 dash 23. Moved by Councilor Bergeau, seconded by Councilor Morrow, that the North Shore Family Health Team be approved for a grant and aid in the amount of $154.60 excluding applicable taxes for the use of room 124 at the Schreiber Municipal Complex, November 10th, 2023. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Okay, there's no accounts for payment, no unfinished business. Move on to other business. Resolution 392 23. Moved by Councillor Bryson, second by Councillor McGrath, that bylaw 50-2023 being a bylaw to set rates and fees for water and sewer services be enacted. All those, discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 393 -23. Moved by Councillor Morrow, seconded by Councillor Bergeau, that bylaw 51-2023 being a bylaw to authorize the borrowing of funds for 2024 operations be enacted. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 394-23. Moved by Councillor McGrath, seconded by Councillor Bryson. That bylaw 52-2023 being a bylaw to adopt a winter road maintenance policy for Schreiber Township be enacted. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 395-23. Moved by Councillor Morrow, seconded by Councillor Bergeau, that bylaw 53-2023 being a bylaw to set fees for municipal services be enacted. Discussion? Yes.
I just wanted to take a minute to say that all the work that went into this was well worth it. It's a nice, concise document. It's got everything on it. I understand it will be in the bylaw section of the documents on Schreiber Civic Web, but is it a possibility that this could be published maybe on the notices on the Schreiber website itself? Those bylaws, if you have to be really familiar with Schreiber Civic Web to find anything. And just so that the residents of Schreiber have one click where they can see all these fees if they're looking for something. I just think that'd be a little handier.
All those in favor? Carried.
Like on that thought, would it be a good idea to have quick access to every bylaw that we passed this year or last year.
Well,
Like,
you have to sign, you have to go on the Schreiber Civic Web, which
Yeah.
most people can do. They can get into the document section. Then you have to scroll down through the left-hand side to find bylaws. And then
Yeah.
every bylaw that's ever been published since 1980 some is listed by year.
Yeah.
So you have to know what year you're looking for,
yeah,
and then they're all listed in order. It's not easy to find a bylaw, especially if you're looking for something specific.
yeah, I know with the old, like on previous website, you could just do a search
Yeah.
and it was easy.
Mhm.
Just typed in bylaws, whatever year you wanted, and
Yeah.
it came up. It was easy. So, yeah, easy
I mean,
is,
we get used to looking at that because we're looking at stuff constantly, but it's not, I know when I first started, it was not easy to find. I don't know if there's a simple way to put a link button on the front of a website page that would bring you to ping the right folder.
You certainly don't need to have quick access to every bylaw,
No,
but the ones that people would want to have reference to, like the zoning bylaw, property maintenance, the stuff that we would enforce, parking.
yeah, and these fees I think would be a good one, right? You got one click, I don't have to go 10 different spots, because the fees, as we discussed at our last meeting, are located in several different places, not just in bylaws, yeah.
so why would it be not advisable to have quick access to all the bylaws?
Well, because some of them are
Get-
technical or, an amendment to another bylaw, you want to publish
Yeah.
the consolidated one, you don't want people to have to look at the first one and then read the amendment in order to find out what it is today. We would consolidate it and publish a consolidated one, which would not be in a bylaw listing. There's lots of bylaws that the
Yeah.
public has no interest in a
Yeah,
bylaw appointing
well,
somebody for some
Yeah.
purpose or
Whatever's easy for anybody to go and try to look up something would be, in my opinion, the best way to go.
Yeah. It's just more information for our residents, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, resolution 396-23, moved by Councillor Bryson, seconded by Councillor McGrath. That bylaw 54-2023 being a bylaw for establishing and maintaining a waste management system in the township of Schreiber be enacted. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Carried. So now we'll move on to our committee of the whole portion of the meeting. Departmental reports and committee board minutes. The first report from acting CAO, application for deeming bylaw.
Okay, so I first explained in the report what a deeming bylaw is, because it's a complex thing from the Planning Act. So if there's a plan of subdivision, and this typically happens with older plans of subdivision, the lots are smaller than we would approve today. And so in order to combine the lots, you have to remove them from the subdivision. And that's what the deeming bylaw does. Because the Planning Act says if you have a plan of subdivision, each lot is an individual transferable lot. So in order to make it merge with the next lot, and so you can only sell the two of them together, you have to pass this deeming bylaw. So this young man came in and filled out the application for the deeming bylaw. I don't see a problem with it at all. In fact, it's better than having two small lots on the waterfront. So my recommendation is that next time, at the next council meeting, we'll have the bylaw substantively as appended to the.
I don't know where this is.
It is, the civic address was 203 and
It's
205.
kind of right in front of where Mike Rollins is, little pie there between him and the Fishers.
You know where the-
what's his face?
No, what I told you, I told you that we're gonna,
Up at Walker's Lake,
Yeah, okay.
right there.
That's Walker's Lake Road as well?
It's, the access to it is on,
Oh, sorry.
it's 15 and 16, so it's right on the bend. That's why it's irregular, the lot shape.
Gotcha.
there's,
Oh, okay, so when it's, okay. Because I was confused with looking at Walker's Lake Road, because I'm thinking it's the road that runs along the bush side of town.
yeah, not that Walker's Lake Road, no.
Across the highway.
Walker Lake.
Not, yeah, I know what street you're.
I'm thinking, where's their lakefront on there? My God,
Yeah.
I gotta drive around more.
I was looking at the same thing, Walker Lake Road.
No, seriously, I was really,
No.
okay. I can see where you're
Walker
going.
Lake Drive, eh?
Yeah,
So when we're talking, if it faces Newman's Lake.
yeah,
Well, that's Walker's Lake.
So it's
It-
Walker Lake Drive.
This is
not
from
Walker
19
Lake.
whatever.
Not Walker Lake.
Used to be Newman
Yeah.
Lake.
Because Walker Lake Road is in town here.
1915. So back in 1915, it was called Newman's Lake. This
That's-
reminded me of Seinfeld.
I know. Newman.
She's going for smarter citizen. Was one of the questions.
Okay,
So it should be
no,
Walker
because I just,
Lake
I
Road.
wasn't,
Walker Lake Drive.
Walker Lake.
okay, so I didn't know where
Yeah.
it was, so. But now that you explained it to me, it makes sense, because it'd be like in a little pie shape, right?
There is a
and it
cost
comes up to our property.
involved.
His property's technically only accessed like on, you know, the
The
hill
cost is
to
the
go down that
reduction in
street.
taxes
It's
that
like right
will
there.
happen in the two properties.
Because that's our property, where
Because
the
the
flower
taxes-
pot is in the summer, yeah.
Okay.
The ta-
Gotcha.
The taxes on one
Yeah.
double lot would be less than the sum of the taxes on the two individual. So there will be a cost to the township, whatever that reduction is, and we don't know what that is until impact reassesses. Which could take a while.
But there's also a cost to the property in order to get that. Yeah.
I can't imagine that the tax loss is significant.
Yeah, that was never, it was vacant for forever anyway, he just.
Right, there's no building on there.
No, it's all fake.
Okay, so
Makes sense.
we're good with
I
that?
just
Bring
didn't
it
know where it
forward.
was.
Yeah.
Okay, number 2. Acting CAO clerk report, land use agreement, I mean.
So, you'll recall that a couple of weeks ago, a couple of meetings ago, I brought forward a recommendation regarding Isvester Drive, the little lane behind, and authorizing Mr. Joubert to use the municipal lot and chunk of the lane for access to his property. So this is what I came up with as an agreement. I have sent it to him. I have not had a reply one way or the other. But
But
if
it's,
council's okay with it, we'll bring the bylaw next time.
but this is, he doesn't have to purchase this is just land use.
This is a license to use the property.
Right on.
It's not a lease,
No.
it's a license. So that means other people can walk on that land too. Not that they will, but.
No.
Yeah, so bring the bylaw forward next, whenever you. Yeah. Okay, acting CEO clerk report. Closed meeting investigator and integrity commissioner.
Right, so we have an obligation under the Municipal Act to appoint closed meeting investigators and integrity commissioners. Integrity commissioners have a different role than a closed meeting investigator. An integrity commissioner, their role is to investigate and report on complaints by, properly authorized people like residents who are ratepayers. Somebody from Thunder Bay can't make a complaint, but an authorized and legitimate complaint against a member of council or more than one member of council that they violated the council code of conduct. So then they undertake the investigation and report to council. Integrity commissioners are also able, and this is relatively new under the Municipal Act, they are also able to investigate complaints under the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. So the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act is very narrow in scope. It deals with monetary conflicts of interest only, not ethical conflicts of interest. So it used to be that a citizen who was concerned that there was a conflict of interest had to bring an application to the court, which is pretty expensive. That avenue is still open to people if they want to do that. But they've now added that integrity commissioners can do that investigation. So the integrity commissioner would investigate, bring a report to council, make their recommendation on penalty. The penalties that can be imposed through our integrity commissioner report are a lot smaller and less strict than the penalties that can be imposed by a judge in a court case. So for example, a judge can declare a seat vacant. The integrity commissioner can't. So what happens, the act allows an integrity commissioner, if they feel like it, and you can't tell them otherwise, to bring it to court. And why would you do that? You would do that if it's a flagrant, repeated, this counselor is not getting the message, you keep on breaking the rules, you gotta go to court so that a bigger penalty can be imposed.
You value that if it was significant.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Unless there are certain integrity commissioners who like to take everything to court.
Well,
But anyway. And then a closed meeting investigator investigates a complaint from a member of the public that council entered into a closed meeting improperly. And then they look into it. And in both circumstances, the municipality is obligated to give the investigator everything they need, including confidential information.
Right.
And then they do the report. They maintain the confidentiality, obviously. So right now you don't have either. You had them, but a long time ago, and it seems to have lapsed. The one thing we're not 100% sure of is whether LAS still considers themselves retained by you, but we haven't heard from them since 2011.
11, I was horrified by that,
Yeah,
that's long.
Cecile did all the research for this.
Mhm.
All I did was write the report. Cecile did all the work.
Seems to me.
Yeah, look, it seems significant.
So you have options. You don't have to do an RFP, but you can. Some municipalities do. There are a lot of closed meeting investigators in Southern Ontario. It's quite a high, competitive market. Not so many up here, but there are a few. A lot of law firms are getting into it.
Do we know what our neighboring communities use for this service?
The Township of Red Rock appointed Daryl Matson, the fellow that I work with.
Yeah,
I wouldn't stand for it. I don't mean that.
yeah,
I mean, I wouldn't put my name forward because
yeah.
I work with them. So
Yeah,
I
right.
would obviously have a conflict of interest
Yeah.
trying to investigate
Right.
council that I work for.
Yeah.
The same goes with Nipigon. I work for them. Actually, I am appointed because I started working for them afterwards, but if something came up right now, I wouldn't
Mhm.
Right.
undertake the investigation. So Nipigon has myself, Daryl Matson, and Ron Beret. Red Rock has Daryl Matson. I don't know who Marathon does.
What about-
Dorian has Daryl
What
Matson.
about Terrace Bay? We don't know?
I don't know.
I'm just
Not
curious.
us.
Yeah, no, okay.
We are Dorian, Emo, O'Connor, Connie. I'm not Connie because I worked for them, but Daryl and Ron are. There's a whole list of them that we do.
Can one person or one firm do both?
Oh, yeah.
So we don't have to hire two different firms?
Correct.
We can hire one firm to do both?
Correct. And most firms that do this will do both.
Is it possible that you could provide even a short list of providers and fees? And then, I don't know if you saw the mayor's email from Monday, I guess,
The ombudsman?
the ombudsman one, where it's pleased to share new resources about municipal integrity commissioners and codes of conducts. So they've got a guide and a code of conducts, but I wonder if they have a list of providers. I don't know.
There is an Ontario Association, but it's loosely, it's just a friendly group.
Okay.
So I can see if Janice can give me a list from there.
I mean, I don't know what you guys feel like. I feel like we could move ahead with Daryl. My suggestion would be, so we don't get caught up. So we don't get caught up in, I think it was 2021, that
2021.
contract ran out. And so my suggestion would be the January after the election, the new council, one of their first things to do within the month after being elected is to get an
Review
integrity commissioner for their term.
So kind of like a new policy.
So we don't run into the problem that has just happened.
Yeah.
And so then you're, unless you run into problems with the integrity commissioner or whatever, and then you have to change midstream or whatever, but
We've done work with another one of these companies. We've got some experience with another one, not for integrity, but for another purpose. I mean, we know what they can do. But I think to be open and transparent, you might want to get a couple of quotes.
okay.
I don't know what you guys think.
Yeah, well, that's fine, yeah. Are you gonna contact this LAS and see if, yeah, just to see?
LAS is called Local Authority Services, and it's a subset of AMO, the Association of Municipalities of Ontario, and they provide all kinds of services to municipalities, a variety of different things.
Yeah, I
One
just,
of the things they're working on is insurance, which will be good if we can do it, because insurance it's bad for everybody.
Yeah.
The increases are crazy.
I'd just be curious if they still had our name down.
Yeah.
Because they're,
Okay.
yeah, just,
Yeah, because Rosalie states like not all firms charge an annual fee.
LAS
So-
charge, but
But so it'd be kind of nice to say, okay, well, here's, I don't know, 4 firms. Here's who charges, here's who doesn't,
Yeah.
here's their hourly rate, and then you kind of make a, you know what I mean? Informed.
Yeah, because
maybe these guys
I
are.
don't
you're on the clock as soon as an incident happens. and
Sure.
I'd rather be on the clock with somebody from Thunder Bay than somebody from down east.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna contact the Toronto firms.
I would agree with
So
you.
I would just do
Yeah.
local Thunder Bay
Yeah.
area. Fair enough. Thanks. Okay, Director of Operations report, the drinking water system inspection report. Tammy, you wanna speak to that?
It's a lengthy report. Our final score on the inspection was 89.29%. So it's not terrible. There were 3 non-compliance items that are being worked on to rectify. We have some deliverables concerning those, and our deadline is January.
So that's one question I have for you, Tammy. Did you set that deadline? Like that seems kind of tight.
That is not me, that is the inspector.
I just wondered because I thought, well, that makes a lot of work in a very short amount of time.
Yeah, it's water, non-compliance needs to be fixed right now.
Okay. All right.
And that was, delays in reporting. It was reported verbally, but the paperwork followed a little bit later. But when you have one person working in the plant trying to fix the problem, it's hard to also do the paperwork while you're trying to fix the problem.
This is gonna sound like a mean question. I don't mean it this way at all. Is this a township issue or an operator issue?
That one was operators. It's lack of operators,
Okay.
lack
fair,
of staffing,
okay.
yeah.
For all 3 of these?
The disinfection part was somewhat associated with the relining project. The temporary water lines came disinfected and ready for service, but according to the inspector, doesn't matter if they're already disinfected. When you put them into service, we should have had the paperwork associated with the disinfection process. So he dinged us on that as well.
Again, paperwork.
Yep, yep.
And then the third?
The continuous monitoring, that one's kind of catch-22. They had to change the valve at the analyzer, which meant the only supply line was shut off so that they could change the valve. What the inspector's saying, they should have called the inspector. He would have advised where the next available point was, and somebody should have been standing there taking the residual every 5 minutes to meet this requirement. But again, you've got the person changing the valve. There is no other operator in-house to do that analyzing, so it comes down to lack of operators.
Okay.
Of course, there's ways around it. I mean, Aqua's a big organization, and they could have called in other people from other communities. So it's not an excuse by any means. I'm just telling you, what
Yeah.
happened. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
And the other part of that is getting clarification
Yeah.
from the ministry.
Yeah.
On what can be done. So,
Absolutely. There were some recommendations in there. One recommendation.
That was good, I thought.
Yeah. Their best management practices, basically, we're meeting compliance, but this is how we can do better. So we issued a couple water conservation notices to our residents, and they're suggesting that we have a more comprehensive policy to conserve water on a regular basis. Most communities do that, and it goes further than, watering on even days. They're suggesting,
Like what kind of, I couldn't think of anything, honestly. Other than that, I think we put this out once a year. That's how much restriction we have on our water. Like once a year this goes out.
yeah. This year we had 2. We did it twice. I mean, some communities subsidize the cost of water efficient fixtures. With our budget, we can't really do that. But public education on how to conserve water. We already do the water loss audits. That's leak detection. We already do that. So, I mean, it's just basically putting it into a policy is what they're saying.
how successful are we with leak detection?
They do it once a year. In my previous life, we did it twice a year. But at this point, they're not finding anything. So I think I would say that we're very successful.
Okay. Good.
And we're not seeing any spikes in flow either at the plant. So it's a good indication that if we're not hearing anything, not seeing any spikes,
So
we're pretty sound.
the equipment we're using for leak detection is effective.
Yep.
It's the right equipment. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the other recommendation was just that our, a bypass to that tank.
Yes, that is basically maintenance that Aqua will take care of. There's a valve out in the parking lot, and they just are asking for it to be painted blue and to purchase a lockout device. So if you look down in the inspection details, there's 2 recommendations that I'm making. When we did the Ontario Street reline, it was, and I mentioned it to council before, it ended up to be a challenge because we had all new personnel as far as our staffing goes on the project, and we had 2 different engineering companies be involved in that project. So if we can make it more consistent, if we ever do something of that magnitude again, it would certainly be a clear indication of who's responsible for what. When you get too many people involved, too many firms involved, they're supposed to do it. No, we were supposed to do it. It just got very confusing. So we missed some paperwork.
But that was it.
Yeah.
The project was successful.
Oh, absolutely.
It was done on time. It was done within budget,
Absolutely.
but we missed some paperwork.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all.
January 24th, eh? God. Okay.
And then they also reference the bylaw 33/2015, which is the infrastructure. And I just suggest that we update the bylaw just to keep it current before he tells us that we have to update it.
Yeah, that's the regulation of water and sewer pipes is what it comes down to. But I read through it. there'd be minimal amount of work to do to it, Tyler.
Yeah,
Like, I
it's
don't
just-
you think?
I think it's just a matter of updating the date on it. Just to
Because-
say that council reviewed it,
Okay.
it's still current, here's the new date, and it goes well with the inspector.
Okay. With the rating that we got, 89, I think it was?
89.29.
89. You can't be dissatisfied with that, is my guess.
Absolutely. It's satisfactory for sure. Yeah, it's not terrible.
So almost an A plus.
Okay, thanks for that, Tammy. The propane fixed price, Schreiber. It's cheaper, what are we doing here?
Yeah,
Let's pass it.
yeah.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah, that's great.
Do you want to just touch on that, Tammy? Sorry.
Well, Superior Propane sold November 15th to, I just got the letter today actually, to Sergeant Propane. And they're offering us 67 cents per liter. And we were paying 71 cents last year. So that is the only rider variable on the 5-year contract. Even with the Superior Propane selling to Sergeant Propane, they're honoring the contract, the 5-year contract that we signed last year. So the only variable is the propane price.
So it's
They're
right.
passing that on to
Yeah,
homeowners
that'd be
too.
nice.
That's great.
Actually, mine,
Sign us up.
I went down.
Yeah.
You guys pay them? No.
Seems going down.
What do you pay?
73.
That's pretty good.
That's good.
This year in September, I went.
I pay a lot more than that.
Okay, let's move on to 2006 International 7400 repair. The recommendation is the bill.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the result of fixing the plow sander that went to Thunder Bay. That's the new computer, the safety.
$13,874.
Could have been worse.
Yeah.
Well, it could have been better too.
Yeah.
Hey, I have a question. I had a couple of questions. You guys want to ask first? There was an amount on here to tow the truck into the shop.
Mhm.
Now here's my question: how much did it cost us to float that bad boy to Thunder Bay?
2,000, around that.
So it's not in this bill, but logistically, that's an added cost.
Yeah.
Will it go to the same GL?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, the most expensive thing for the computer. They gave you back your core charge. I was looking for that.
Mhm.
So that was good. The regular maintenance stuff, I mean, a lot of this stuff is regular maintenance. And a lot of it is safety. It's almost a 50-50 split.
Yeah.
It just, some of it, to me, I just think wiper blades.
It's safety.
It is safety. We have to have a shop change them.
What they did was, when the vehicle was there, to save time, once they got it running, once they got the new computer in and got it up and running, so instead of getting the truck back, I think they had to get the safety to get the truck back.
Probably, yeah.
It was all part of that yellow sticker.
So Maxim did the safety check, so.
And just did it all.
So they looked at the wipers and said, you need changing.
What would an electronic tool charge be? Is that like a
That's their
reader? or
computer
something?
equipment, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I just looked at wiper blades and exhaust clamps and stuff and think, my God.
Yeah.
But I got you.
Okay, I guess.
Yeah, so my only other point would be, and Marlene's not here tonight, so it's probably not. So Tammy makes a note about the financial impact. We're gonna be over budget. But last year we were right at budget, so, I mean, there are some items. Would you say that this computer replacement was kind of not a once in a lifetime thing, but a very
Unusual,
type of repair?
yeah,
That's not something we're probably going to see year by year moving forward.
I would say not.
And I can't imagine we're going to be spending $15,000 a year between floating and fixing a snowplow.
No,
And we just
there's no
couldn't be boxed
kilometers on that truck. I mean, it's very strange that that went.
Okay. So this is unusual.
Yeah.
Okay. Just keep that in mind at budget time.
Good thing is that was the fix.
Yes, because it could have been a lot
Something
worse.
else.
Yeah, it could have been, and Mayor talked about
Yeah, at
that.
one point, we didn't know if we
Yeah.
were gonna get this thing back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no. So the recommendation is to pay it. Yeah.
Not a problem. It's out there being used now. Okay. So, Director of Operations report on the wastewater treatment plant blowers, the replacement. We just have no luck.
They don't.
But just to clarify, I did find out that blower 1 has been in service since 1975.
Okay, hang on. Just write this down. Hold on. Lower one, 1975.
1975. Blower 2 what has been in service since 1989. So they have definitely given us their worth.
Sorry, Tammy, blower 2, 1987.
89.
89.
And I did send you pictures individually about the with the blower bearings that are gone.
Yes.
Clearly,
Yeah, they're clearly gone.
yeah.
So those two seem to have run a long time, but like in both plants, there are lots of motors, couplings, bearings. Do we do any vibration analysis on that stuff to predict failure, or do we just kind of? I
What's,
know that it would maybe not. It's just a question.
is it an ohms reading? Is that what that is?
Yeah, you just
They
like
do that.
they
They do that. I'm not sure if that refers to the vibration test that you're talking about.
It may not even be worth it for our operation. I'm just curious. Something they do in bigger plants to predict bearing failures and stuff like
Yeah.
that before you have a catastrophic failure where your bearing blows and you shaft.
Well, they might,
And
you know,
everything's toast, right?
they might do it, because I mean, how many towns have they got? Like, so it'd be worth their while.
Yeah. I was just curious when I seen that.
You can definitely
bearing.
ask the question.
Well, I know on the railway.
It's a good question.
But on the railway, they run like the wheel sets. They all have bearings in them and they run them until they fail.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah, they don't test
like
them.
people
They
do it, right?
But
But
just run them but they do have detectors they do have the ability to test for heat, so that may be what you're,
just
part of
know,
what you're
in
referring
a
to.
pulp mill,
Yeah.
they check every motor and then say,
Yeah.
okay, oh, this one's got a
Yeah.
vibration, the bearing's probably going. We can make a plan, right, to
if
do repairs before the bearing fails, and then shaft,
Yeah.
and then the motor, and then everything's toast.
Yeah.
probably has a normal operating temperature, and
Yeah,
if it's
for sure.
exceeding that, then yeah, bearings are going.
I was just curious. Really.
So it's something, the recommendation, so it's something we need. 80,000.
At this point, we just need to go ahead to allow Aqua to go ahead and do the procurement process, because they will RFP something at that price point.
So we're replacing blower 1 and crossing our fingers on blower 2.
We are replacing blower 1 at this point. We are adding blower 2 to 2024 budget. And ideally, in 2025, I think we should have a spare. But they're very expensive.
So this amount in here is just for 2 blowers, Tam, or for 1?
That is one. That is a blower and the VFD.
And we need
Has-
2 of these.
Right now, blower 2 is wired back to the VFD for blower 1, because we fixed that back in February,
Yes.
remember? But the VFD on blower 2 was pooched. So they called in the electrician and we wired it back to blower 1.
What's VFD stand for?
Variable.
Variable frequency drive.
Yeah.
So it'll regulate the speed, right?
Thoughts?
Okay, so we're looking at, we need $80,000 immediately and then $80,000 for next year?
No, next year,
Okay.
because we're replacing the VFD on blower 2 and the blower 1 is that $80,000. So next year we'll replace just blower 2, but the 2 VFDs are new. So we won't have to replace those again, and they're about 20,000.
The 80,000 would come out of the 2024 budget. Plus another 80,000 pre-budgeted for 2020, no,
Yeah,
right?
2025?
Right?
yeah, I believe so, Dave. I think you're saying it right.
Yeah.
And the only, that's capital? That's gonna come under capital, Tam?
Yes, that is
Because the
capital.
only capital you have is the aeration system repairs for 2024. So you want to tack on the 80 to 2024, and all we're doing right now is just getting quotes.
Yeah,
But then another 80 will have to go on 2025.
right.
Well, that gives us some planning time. I don't think that's horrible.
Without these blowers, your sewer plant doesn't run.
I got that out of here.
Yeah.
If this is a tender, then it's, you have to take it. You can't say no. The procurement process of a tender is you must, well, you might not get any bids, but if you get bids, you must accept the lowest bid. It's a contract at law. An RFP is different, a request for quotations is different. A tender is a commitment to enter the contract to the lowest bidder, lowest compliant bidder. That's why I said in there, it's a pre-budget commitment,
Okay.
This happened.
but we need it.
Yes,
Why would,
no way around it.
Yeah,
but it's not just going out and getting quotes. It's a
Yeah.
tender.
it's a tender. Okay.
Because we need.
We
it
need a
so bad.
specific piece of equipment. It's not,
Yeah.
it's how you do the procurement process. An RFP is if we want something done, we'd like your professional opinion on how we should do it. That's an RFP. A tender is, we need a mile of pavement at this thickness. It's a standard thing that people bid on. That's a tender.
So we're not doing procurement, we're doing tender.
Procurement, it is a form of procurement. There are 3 forms of procurement: tender, request for proposals, and request for quotations.
The
And
tender
the
amount,
tender is a binding contract,
and the tender amount we're anticipating is this number.
and we won't know until we get
Yeah.
the tenders in, but that's the ballpark.
Right.
Okay.
We'll know before we finalize the 2024 budget, which is good.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just looking for the go-ahead then to
Yeah.
do that? Okay. Everybody's good with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Schreiber Public Library minutes. Dave?
Does anyone have any questions? This is from September.
Well, this is from October.
This is from October. Yeah. I did look into what was on the last minutes and I emailed
Yes, thank you.
you about that and you about it. But there is a sign in existence.
There is?
Yes. That needs to go up at some point.
But I think it's just another opportunity for media. Like I look at those things and go, that's good news.
It's a nice sign too.
Oh, I think it's awesome news, honestly.
On the side?
She told me about it, but she hasn't made any arrangements to have
Okay.
it on yet.
As long as everyone's aware. You can see the score that I mentioned it last time, but they got 96.5 on their accreditation
Yes.
score, which was great.
That's an A plus, right?
That's an A plus.
Okay,
And I'm really sorry to hear that we were just talking about printing pictures. I was really sorry to hear that their picture machine's no longer working.
Yeah,
Shoot.
and it's not looking like, I don't know, for the cost of it and how much it gets used, I don't think they're looking at really getting another one.
No way. There used to be one at the grocery store, but again, it's not there anymore either, is it? No.
There's one in Terrace Bay cost us, I think. There
Yeah,
was.
I think, yeah.
okay, hearing no more, we'll move into communications.
Nope.
Oh,
That was your
9, 10, 11.
okay. Director of the status update.
So what changed from the time this report was written to today? The Sterling, the dump truck, has been. They think it's the fuel injectors, so that's even cheaper than both these options that I talked about in this paragraph. So we should have that truck back in service by end of next week at the latest. The fuel injectors were in stock and they're being shipped as we speak, so.
Injectors caused fuel spilling into the crank?
Because there's 2 seals on injectors, an upper one and a lower one. And if it leaks around the upper one, it just blows up, hits the crankcase, like the shroud, and it just pours back into the oil.
Okay. Injectors were cheaper, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
How many injectors?
There'd be 8.
Yeah,
I think
I'm not
so.
sure.
They're
Yeah.
all leaking?
Is he doing all or is he?
Well, since we have the motor apart, we should.
Okay, but they all weren't leaking.
I'm not sure how many were leaking. I did
It
not.
seems odd if it gets to the shop and everything is leaking. Like
I think yeah. I think it was the one injector.
One
that was-
injector.
That was leaking that.
that would make sense.
Okay. And then the pumper that was in the accident, the insurance appraiser was in town. He's inspected the truck. We're in the process of getting permissions from our insurance company now to start purchasing those. That's not looking promising as far as the insurance company is concerned, but the appraiser has been really good with working with us. So I think that it's just a process we have to follow to get there. But we can order the tire and the rim so that at least the truck is drivable to Thunder Bay. We won't have to float it.
Yeah. And December the 6th at 11 p.m., that's your new Handy Transit media event?
That's right.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, and Tammy, you're gonna be there too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah. I'm,
Of course.
no, I mean, your name was off the list and everything and
Oh.
it was ignorant on my part. You're a big part of this,
Oh.
getting it. and that.
Okay. I was going to be there to train the drivers on the new van, but okay, I hear what you're
Yeah,
saying.
no, you're,
Okay.
sorry about that.
No worries.
I think that's beautiful. And it is nice to see the plow truck back and all its bill, but it's nice to see it back. And
Just because I've been asked this question about 800 times, the infrared heaters in the arena,
Uh-huh.
when are they gonna be done?
They are working on them today. Seen Claude Darling in town today. They have promised that it will be done by the end of December.
Okay,
December?
Yep.
yeah, it's got 3 weeks, yeah.
Yeah. they got one up.
Yep.
So wait, everybody's sitting there?
No, it's not working. It's not
Oh, it's not-
It's not plugged in. It's not plumbed yet.
At least we can say it's happening.
See
Yeah.
there.
I think they put that one up and then just nothing happened for a while, so everyone was kind of like, that they only pay for
Yeah,
a
there's a
while.
lot of good comments about it.
Yeah, I know, I know.
Takes our time.
Yeah, they're excited. I just want to give people an answer that's,
Yeah.
Yeah, the middle one will have to be vented through the roof, so that one's going to take a little bit longer to do. So they're going to do the 2 end ones and do the roof last.
Going through the north wall's not gonna work, eh?
No, it can't be that long. There's a regulation to how long the vent can be.
Okay.
Okay, number 10, the ESA upgrades. Hello, darling.
This is the thing we talked about last meeting.
I think we
Correct, we
touched on,
talked about this.
I
last
think we
meeting.
touched on it last meeting.
Yeah, we did.
So we've since had some meetings with Automation Now, an on-site meeting down at the wastewater treatment plant to be more specific as to what needs to be changed out that was omitted from the first contract. And then we met with Tom, the electrical inspector. He wanted to make it very clear on what was expected so that we're not going back again, and we're gonna fill everything that he needs. I mean, this project's been going on for 3 years, he tells us, and normally you get 30 days to comply. So we've been very fortunate that he has been patient with us, but his organization is starting to push him, so we need to get this done. So we have committed to being completed by the end of 2024, and
Right.
he's okay with that.
But I liked your idea behind, they suggest keeping phase 4 as is, but I'm considering canceling phase 4 and substituting the new work required for it. That actually makes way more sense to me.
Yeah,
Because it sounds like it's going to be significantly different.
yeah, very much. So we're asking for a change order.
Because if not, then you're coming to council. Do you know what I mean? Going
Yeah.
back and forth, back and forth, back and forth every change, and that just seems
Yeah,
like it's a lot of time.
exactly. So Automation Now says they'll need a few weeks to gather all the prices of the necessary components. And once we see what that number is, we can make our decision on how we want to approach phase 4.
How hard is it to get explosion-proof parts?
It's, supply and demand,
Yeah, so-
that same old, so that's the problem, like, they are ready to start work immediately, but it's getting the parts required to do the job.
Right.
Some things are 16 weeks, some are, 10 weeks, it just depends on what it is. Automation Now, this is what they do, they have the suppliers that do have the explosion-proof stuff,
Yeah.
it's just getting the manufacturers to deliver on time. So Automation Now, as part of their contract, was already going to change the 2 heaters in the clarifiers. So it makes sense to have the heater in the Bagger building match the heaters that are
Yeah.
already there. So, and it'll come in cheaper.
Yep.
So I've scrapped the Cloud Darling plan to go with the Automation Now. We've just added it as part of their scope.
Yep.
That was all part of what the inspector wanted to see changed.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, that's it, that's what you needed from us, so we move on to senior committee meeting, October 26th meeting, minutes.
Yeah, so we had another meeting yesterday. So I can give you some updates on that. I mean, everything's still going along strongly, like, still lots of participation in a dozen or so programs we have going. The Dale and James concert went over well. There was 170, that's the Elvis impersonator, 170 attendees. Good performance, was the feedback from the attendees. Remoli is going strong, 9 to 18 people in every session. Sewing 101, good participation. So And some of the exercise programs, or most of the exercise programs that are available are well attended, so. One of the big things, and I mentioned it before, was foot care.
She's book solid, eh?
She is book solid, and it was hard getting the room at the medical center, so it's now moved over here. They bought a new chair, and the cost is $50 per session, which is pretty cheap. So, we're on track with the budget. Tammy and Kathy will sit down and figure out what's remaining for the budget for 2023 that we have to spend. And yeah, so some plans in the New Year's. We're looking to New Year now with some of the plans, some of our plans. And the tally that we received at the meeting yesterday was 399 members, so.
Son of a gun, eh?
One more.
One more. That's good, though. That's outstanding.
Yeah, really good.
Good stuff. Okay, thanks for that. Now we'll move on to communications now then. Hearing nothing?
What do we normally spend for Thunder Bay Municipality?
We give out last year was some clothing. What did we, I know they went in for the door prizes, some of the stuff, I don't remember.
Yeah, this is different though. This is a sponsorship.
Sponsorship.
Yeah, so that's different, yeah.
Yeah.
What did they do?
So what did we
Copper-
do last year?
Copper, bronze, silver, gold, platinum.
I don't think we've done this
No,
before.
we haven't.
No?
We've done donations of door prizes.
Yeah, so what do we want to do, I guess is the question.
So sponsorship may be in the form of direct cash, donation, prizes, or service.
Prizes.
Oh, we haven't never done this before.
Well, do you want to just do a nominal copper and then we're names is in the official program? Like, I don't know what you guys typically would want to do.
Is there a budget for this sort of thing?
Yes, there
It
is.
comes out of council promotion.
Council PR promotion,
PR.
Yeah.
probably.
Because what did we just take out of there? We have quite a bit of room left in there. Oh, we just did something.
It was advertising for the job, possibly.
Might have been, that's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
So now that's a good point. I don't know what's left in there now.
Yeah. Not much.
Good point.
Well, your, with the resident Christmas decorating, all that would have gone through there as well.
Yeah. That too.
When does this have to be there by? By February, please be advised, it should be received by February 21st, 2024. So how about this? How about we find out how much is left in that budget line,
Yeah,
if anything?
yeah, we should do.
So defer this to the next meeting?
Yeah.
December
Yeah,
12th?
just bring it back, sure.
How about number 4?
Number 4, I sent a copy of that resolution off to William Bradica.
Yeah.
Through the Thunder Bay DSAB. Some of the numbers that they're stating in there, they look way higher than what the DSAB's been after. So I just sent it to him for his comment before I'm a little afraid to go ahead and blindly endorse something without knowing more about it. I know that they have put forward resolutions to the minister, but these numbers look way higher than what he's looked at.
So what numbers are you talking about?
Number 4, the Orangeville, town of Orangeville, yeah,
So they're looking to double Ontario work rates
works,
and index rates to inflation.
yeah. But to double those rates,
Yeah,
I mean, you need to ask for something that you guys can endorse if you want. I just sent it off to, when I saw it, I just sent it off to Bill and said, like, can you make a comment on this? Just because our DSAP, I'm thinking, would know.
okay, well, let's see what he says.
Mhm.
So do you want this one deferred as well?
Yeah.
Back after we hear back from
Deferred.
Yeah.
Mr. Radica?
Okay, hearing no more.
Thought he was retired.
Nope, just hanging on for one more year.
Move on to unfinished business. The Christmas party township, the planner.
I just have a little note, okay, we're starting at 3:15, not at 6. I don't know what else admin needs from us.
Nothing.
I think so. We're decorating, right?
That's it.
No, I think, yeah, I mean, I was kicking around the office today. There's a couple trees, hopeful to get, I'm gonna say blowers, not blowers, projections. Projectors, the snowflakes on the walls or whatever.
Yeah, mine.
One,
Really?
Yeah, I'll bring it.
There you go.
And
Done.
Evan's got one and Beth Ann's got one.
Done,
yeah,
done.
so we'll figure that out, and then there's a bench. And
The backdrop and the bench won't be available till Friday. So we'll have to put those up on Friday because they're being used for the Moonlight Madness.
so the rec crew will take care of that then?
Yeah, or Evan and
Probably.
Evan and I will take care of it.
Yeah, because we got well, I mean, we can do it in the morning if they have no
Mm-hmm.
problem or something like that, but then we're gonna be busy with the train.
Yeah, that's what it's saying afternoon, eh?
Yeah, we get, what we can set up and everything there Thursday, and, we'll get the tables decorated
Mm-hmm.
and, set. Benji's gonna, before he goes on the hockey tournament, Benji said he was gonna show us how to fold the napkins
Nice.
into,
I'm off all day tomorrow. What do you guys want? Then I'm gone.
Fold napkins in the reindeer or
Yeah,
Train.
train?
I can.
well, the choice was his.
Yeah. I can folding skills.
Yeah.
Swans.
Yeah.
Why?
Okay. Number 2, residential. So we'll see everybody at 3:15. Residential Christmas decorating program. So we have to choose a date. So our next council meeting is the 12th, right?
Yes.
And we haven't committed to nothing after that. The only time after, well, I mean, you can have a special council meeting anytime, but I'm just trying to stick to the Rosalie's here. So the next one would be the 19th.
That-
We have
No, I thought
nothing.
Rosalie put forward something to say we only got one in December,
Yeah, so I mean,
right? Am I wrong?
No, December was always only one.
Yeah,
The
was
second
always-
one would be
Yeah.
on the week that we're closed.
so it would just
Right.
be a special, but I don't think, but there's no need to have one.
I have issues all month. I got work commitments. I gotta be in Sunbury on the. Well, I don't know. I won't make the 12th, and I'm in Thunder Bay on the 8th. But I'll do my best to make it work for the.
Well, if council
Video.
could, if we could put out the date of the 9th, our residents to have their decorations up by the 9th of December, and council can go out that weekend. I mean, you don't have to go out as a group, you could go out individually
I'm out of town.
Have them.
and provide a list of 10 people that you,
Just send it to you?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
well,
out of
we did
town
the
the
same
weekend
thing
of the
last
Yeah.
year.
yeah.
8th?
9th, 10th, and 11th.
10 people.
Councilmember was not in town. There were like 8 people talking at once.
Are you back on Monday, Dave?
Yeah, oh, well, yeah, I guess I could go Sunday. Yeah, that's fine. Sorry, yeah, we'll be
Yeah,
back on
and then
Sunday.
just email me
Yeah.
your list of 10
Sunday
people. and
Yeah,
then-
yeah, that's fine.
That's what we did last year, right?
Yes.
Send to
And
you
then-
by Monday or?
So you want us to do that on the 10th?
I might bring home some more decorations to put up.
If you can go out on the 10th or the 11th, and then even on the even at the meeting on the 12th, give me your list
Yeah.
of
Yeah, let's do that.
who your 10 people are.
List. Of
So
10
we're gonna
posts.
give
We'll
that,
tell residents to have their decorations up by the 9th.
sounds good. Sounds good.
All right, done.
Okay. So, other business, grant need.
So this is an event that already took place. But the agency is asking if we would waive the rental cost of the room.
So yeah, my question, I'm not saying no or anything. My question is, does this not have to be in before the event actually takes place?
That's the rule. However, we've done it before. For
Okay.
example, the
The 124,
Retirement
yeah, okay. And then my second question is, how much is left in that budget line? Because
There was,
it was not a lot.
no, there was,
There was 1799.04 that was remaining, and then you approved the North Shore Harvest Cupboard for 1,000,
1,000,
and the North Shore Family Health Team for 175,
right.
excluding taxes.
So what would the cost be of this?
So you've got roughly just over $600 at this
I
point.
think the fee for the whole hall is, what was it, not 690 or something like that? It's in that
Close to 700,
bylaw we just tried.
yeah.
Okay, did the other church have their tea up there?
No,
No?
they had it in their church basement.
Okay.
Or not basement, but, you know.
Oh.
Didn't they? They didn't come on it?
Normally have
I
it
thought it
in
was
the
at the hall.
basement.
Did you think, so that was why I didn't go there. Did anybody go to that? That was the rec hall?
Yeah, if they had it at the rec hall and they paid for it, I can't see why we would give it the CWL. Or if we give the CWL it, we should give them their money
Right.
back.
Mayor, you're not wrong, you're right.
I mean, we gotta stick
Be
consistent.
consistent, you're no, you're
And I
absolutely
don't care
right.
which way we go, but we
No,
gotta be
But you're
consistent.
absolutely right.
Like they're asking after the event, so the other church can ask now too.
That's fair.
Right.
I thought they were in their own rectory basement, but maybe they weren't.
Like I
No,
don't
you're
care.
right. What
I
you
don't-
do
Yeah,
for one-
no, but I mean, I don't care which way
No.
we go with it, it's just,
And is going forward, is everyone cool with like, it's gotta be in before, or it's just a no?
Well, this grant and aid whole process was on the list of things that were gonna get looked at.
Yeah,
But I mean, we've done a lot this year, it just has never made the top of the list.
yeah, and I mean,
Yeah.
We wanted to look at the process and how we handle
I
it.
think we should look at the process, for sure.
I got thrown under the bus last time. I said we should be looking at it like, if we don't charge them the rent of the hall, then we should charge them an hour setup and an hour tear down.
Yeah,
But that's the same as rental of the hall, or, you know, so.
yeah.
St. John's was at the hall
It was, Cecil?
on the 12th of November.
What
The
they,
weekend before.
what the request is waive or reduce.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to give them a little bit off the price, there would still be
But I
enough to do
agree
that for
with-
the other.
yeah, then you have to do it for the
Yeah.
other.
Yeah, I would agree
If
with
they
the mayor.
submitted a grant in aid.
What's that?
If they were to submit a grant in aid.
But they'd have to
Yeah.
be,
Well, I think, I mean, phone them and tell them to submit a grant.
yeah, that's all.
I would do it automatically. If we're gonna give it to one, we should be giving it to the other, not waiting on a phone call.
I agree
That's
with that.
just,
I agree. And we'll take the remaining amount and split it.
what's that? So,
If they want to apply, we can take the remaining amount and split it. And reduce.
yeah,
Yeah,
but that is one thing that we should revisit.
You have to look for the
I
whole
agree.
process, the application, I know, yeah.
because we seem to be getting more and more requests
Mm-hmm.
every year.
What they do at the city of Thunder Bay is they have a budget amount, they have a committee that looks at it, they advertise, put it in now, the deadline is such and such. They're always oversubscribed, so more people ask for money than there is money in the pot. And the committee makes their recommendations, whether they say, okay, there's too many people, so everybody gets 70% of what they asked for, or whether they say, look, you guys already have a bank account that's pretty flush, so we're gonna say no to you, and
Yeah.
it's just one by one.
Sounds fair.
Just,
Instead of
And then
taking
there's
them
no
all year
more-
long.
There's no more
Bad
after
idea.
that. This
Yeah.
is, and it's advertised, so it's fair. People know this is what you have. Put it in for. And it's after you've set your budget, so you know what that budget amount is. This is how much we have. What would you like?
Yeah.
And we can't give everything to everybody, so keep that in mind.
That's great.
and yeah,
I like that. I mean, it's a little late in the year to be doing it now, but I think moving forward, that's a grand idea.
Well, right after the budget's passed is when you would do it. So is there a policy right now for the grant and aid? I'm sure there is. Yeah, so we'll just amend it.
So do you want to defer this one to the 12th then? To see
Because you're
whether-
going to ask them to send in a
To
request.
see whether the other organization wishes to submit a grant and aid application?
sure.
And we
do
can
that.
check the balance of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Of the
sure.
budget,
That
yeah.
gives us a chance to check the balance. Okay, then the time being 8:34 PM and there being no further business at hand, as chair, I declare this meeting to be adjourned.